Hey, good day, everyone. Today is October 24th, 2021. Just wanted to bring you guys a quick update. Um, it's been a while, perhaps a couple of weeks. It seems like a long time, but don't worry. Things are gaining momentum in the crypto sphere, as many of you might be aware. So things are heating up. A lot of your family, relatives, friends, whatsoever, may be speaking to you about certain coins that they've heard or Bitcoin itself. So that's great. That means more awareness is being brought into this space, right? More clear focus on these key developments, right? So on my screen here, I'm just going to show you something that might be of value to you. So here, let me actually play this.
So life.
I'm a very, very happy guy in the crypto space right now. Very happy. Very happy guy.
Were you early like Nas? Because I know Nas was super early.
Well, in Bitcoin Cash, I was definitely early. See, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash are two different ones. Bitcoin is, it's Bitcoin, but Bitcoin Cash is the legitimate brother to Bitcoin. I could do a whole thing on it, but I'm not gonna do a whole thing.
Don't do a whole thing, but I'm really curious because you're smart and we trust you. And so I was curious about, because I feel like I was late and now I'm almost like, is it too late? I don't know if it's too late. And I don't really understand the world that much. And I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Dogecoin was trending for like 2 days in a row the other day.
I like Dogecoin. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. I'm only touching Bitcoin Cash. That's it. That's my whole thing. Like the key is to like learn about whatever crypto you want to be with. Although there's a lot of options, and zoom in on it and make something masterful from it. So I can spread money all over the place. So it's that's what everybody's doing, but like I just choose not to do that. I like Bitcoin Cash. I mean, there's no fees with it. Like the things that's about to happen with it is just going to be super amazing. And no disrespect to any other crypto, but Bitcoin Cash is the only thing I'm talking about or looking at. Everybody else can have everything else. Cool.
Have you been like seriously educated in the space?
Very educated in the space from the best. Like it's not just like talking to people just because of what they're seeing online. It's actually talking to people that has something to do with it, from 10 years ago. And really just understanding what we're doing instead of just saying we're doing it because we're seeing people make money from it. It's just like the NFTs and all of those different things. Like I hear the word, but it's like, do we truly understand how to maximize from it?
I think you should do you, Nas, maybe Meek, I don't know, whoever else is, I'm not sure who else are the other artists or folks that are heavily involved in that, but you definitely should do like a class.
All right, so interesting.
Yeah, so, this is the real Swizz. He's for many of you who are into music and whatnot, would probably know this person. And he's married to Alicia Keys. So that circle of friends, I actually did, I've got to be honest with you. I didn't know who that was until I went to Finesse Fades, thanks Barber. And when I spoke to him about it, Andy, he says, yeah, this guy he's married to Alicia Keys. So I was like, wow. Well, then now it's, I knew that he was somebody kind of famous, right? Because he's on this Angie Martinez show. However, I didn't realize that he was married to Alicia Keys, and the circle of friends include Jay-Z, obviously Beyonce, Busta Rhymes, you know what I'm saying? So when I put two and two together, folks, as I've stated before, as everyone becomes more involved in crypto, more educated in crypto, you would have lawyers, doctors, accountants, even engineers, police officers, pilots, captains of the ships, of the seas. Doesn't matter who you are. You're probably, if you're an astute person in your career, you're always going to look for opportunities. You're paying attention to the news in terms of the supply chain impacts that's happening today, right? So you're looking at things from a global perspective. You're looking at the impacts to the inflation, dollar printing. We haven't gotten out of the woods yet. Maybe society is starting to pick up in terms of, hey, we're going out there, we're enjoying our day, we're doing things, we're trying to be productive, we are networking again, face to face. And there's a lot that comes with that, right? Because we've all changed throughout this whole process. And, this whole digital realm that I mentioned, this whole digital ecosystem is really coming upon us. So what the real Swizz was talking about is that Bitcoin Cash is the legitimate brother of Bitcoin itself, right? And Bitcoin Cash, as I mentioned previously in videos, that the development team decided to split based on the idea that, hey, we want to innovate, and then some miners within that community did not want to innovate as quickly. So it was easy to, 4 years ago, it was easy to say, hey, you know what, we're going to split the code, take a fork of Bitcoin and introduce these privacy features, introduce scalability features where you can have minimal transaction fees at a higher rate of speed than that of Bitcoin itself. So as I've mentioned before, this Bitcoin has been around obviously the longest. It's the original blockchain. And as a result, when Bitcoin was formed many years ago, a lot of people didn't know, especially during those times, what Bitcoin was, what they had. If they were mining it on a computer, that computer is probably out in the garbage right now. So keep that in mind. In terms of out of the 21 million supply that Bitcoin has out there, you only have probably 16 million that's really available, right? So out of 21, currently there's 18.9 million mined already, right? But out of that whole 21 million in total supply, about 5 million has been lost forever, cannot be recovered. It's gone, right? This is what's happening this is the discussion that's happening. As a result, what that does, it does have even greater impact on the Bitcoin price, because you now have a less supply, right? As more awareness builds, everyone's talking Bitcoin. Did I miss the opportunity? How can I get in? Is it too late? These are questions that resonate with a lot of people. Wealthy, poor, it doesn't matter. They're all going to ask the same thing. How come I didn't hear about this before? Did I miss it? And when you start following that trend, that pattern, you understand that, what started this whole thing. It's the Satoshi Nakamoto's vision in his detailed white paper about what he sees in terms of electronic peer-to-peer cash, right? And Bitcoin Cash was the evolution at that time 4 years ago. So when Bitcoin Cash was forked from Bitcoin, it also has that 21 million supply. So even if none is lost, because it's only 4 years old, BCH that is, you would have a total supply of 21 million. Guess what? Even if every millionaire in the world decide that I want one Bitcoin Cash, they're not going to have it, right? There's more than 21 millionaires out there. So if everybody decided to all of a sudden wake up and understand, hey, you know what? Bitcoin Cash was supposed to be the evolution. Institutions are starting to wake up to that reality right now, right? They're buying in the background, Grayscale. They're also buying other coins, but Wealthsimple, by the way, for all those Canadians out there, if you want to start your crypto investment portfolio, you can check out a company called Wealthsimple. So I'm not a financial advisor, as I've stated. I'm just a technology evangelist, trying to understand the space for myself and try to share that knowledge. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I can show you on the screen that definitely others in the space, and thank you, Digital Dave, for highlighting this video. I'm a member of his Patreon group, so check him out if you will. If not, I'm a member of a few Patreon groups, so that's where I get my information from technology evangelists like myself. And I try to spread that knowledge to the community because I feel and I believe that it's important, right? spread the knowledge so we all rise up together. So yeah, Bitcoin Cash. So as I mentioned, these folks here, they're multi-millionaires, and they're looking at Bitcoin Cash, right? Because it's not just a store of value, it has value in terms of transactability, cheap fees, and so on and so forth. So El Salvador came out the gate and used and adopted Bitcoin as their legal tender. Let's see what happens in the future for Bitcoin Cash. But food for thought, something to think about. And it's wonderful to see, a well-known person in that community, in the music industry, is coming out and saying, yeah, you know what, Bitcoin Cash, that's it for me. So anyways, I have a few things I want to discuss. So the Global Anti-Money Laundering Body, FATF, right? They call themselves the Financial Action Task Force. FATF is ready to roll out new crypto recommendations next week. So that will, we'll see some things happening in that space where they want to regulate stable coins and, have some frameworks in that they force governments, force exchanges and over-the-counter desks to identify people who are transacting with more than $10,000, right? So it's a start. If you're injecting $10,000 into over-the-counter trade or one of those exchanges, they would, the anti-money laundering groups would like to know about that. Like, who are you? What do you do for a living? Where do you reside? How did you come up about your funds, etc., right? So that's great news in terms of more clarity and awareness and adoption, right? So the larger the adoption curve gets, the better it is for everyone. So this is why we're at the forefront paying attention to these technology breakthroughs. And yeah, NFTs is just simply off the hook. Wow. What is this here?
Chainlink is worth $250,000 to $500,000 each, because there's a huge demand. Chainlink is worth $250,000 to $500,000 each, because there's a huge demand.
Yes, I could listen to that over and over and over, because as I mentioned, I was a big, I still am a big Chainlink supporter since it was like $2. There's lots of crypto out there, folks. Too many to discuss on a daily basis. They go up and they go down. Shiba just did, 50% in a week. I missed that trade because I'm not really doing trades, but it'll go back down, right? So the key is to have your mind focused on the blue chip cryptos out there. Bitcoin Cash is one of them. For myself personally, if I make profits on something significantly enough, then I will likely move that into Bitcoin Cash and let that sit there. So if you've been following along with what I've been saying in some of my videos, I also said that one Bitcoin Cash would be between roughly 250,000 in about 5 years. When you really look at everything from a global grand scale 5 years from now, and the adoption and the money that's going to be poured in. So the market cap right now for all crypto, total crypto, is fluctuating around 2.5 trillion. And that is significant, because the last time we were there was probably back in the spring, and then it went from 2.5, dropped all the way down to like maybe almost a trillion, or maybe less. It was gross. It was gruesome, to having to watch that, especially for me, like if I've been in the market for so long, right? Here comes another pullback. Thought we were ready for takeoff. But anyways, that was when it rains, it's an opportunity for, the worms to come out, right? So it's same thing. When the market is all red, it's an opportunity for those who missed out to buy that dip, right? And, I bet you now everyone's wishing that they have another dip, that wouldn't maybe last 3 months, 4 months, but you know what I mean? So BTC did the all-time high back in last week. So congratulations. This was amazing, amazing, amazing news for literally everyone to know that Bitcoin is back on the map. We just broke through the all-time highs that was set back in just maybe 6 months ago. Yeah, so these are I just want to remind everyone that banning Bitcoin would be the most unintelligent act since prohibition. This is coming from Tika Tawari. And very, very interesting. We all kind of know where it's going. Obviously, rules and regulations will be amongst what we see in the future in terms of pillars to help this whole ecosystem. But yeah, I wanted to bring you that update from Swizz Buzz and a bit of the market. Like Bitcoin Cash has the smart BCH. Speaking of which, before I forget, I learned that 2 Bitcoin Cash is being burnt every day, right? So what they're doing is they're looking at the model that Ethereum has, and Ethereum is about 6 months away from Ethereum, the full Ethereum 2.0. So keep that in mind. As we look for things that could help the market in 2022, I would say XRP, the case with the battle between XRP and SEC should be settled. And there's a lot going for Ripple at this point. We should keep our eyes on that. So that could be a catalyst in terms of, if the XRP army and the Ripple wins that SEC lawsuit battle, if they actually come out of it winning, or maybe having to pay a fine, guess what? Coinbase is going to relist XRP. And once that happens, everybody else is going to relist XRP. So that dips into the supply, right? So if everybody lists XRP once again, then guess what? And they're cleared from that SEC lawsuit, then you have a free runway, right? So that's something to look out for. DEXs, decentralized exchanges, are actually doing very well in terms of you control your coins and your assets. So that really goes well, for people who want to store their own crypto in their own wallet and manage their own funds and not leave their funds in a hot wallet on a institutional exchange. So that goes well for them, right? They can take that crypto, pull it off, and keep it in their own wallet, and they're responsible for that. Another crypto that's doing well is Zilliqa, better known as Zill. They just partnered with Ninjas in Pajamas, and I'm not a big gamer myself, but I do know that metaverse is actually going to be a thing of the future for a lot of people. It's sort of like a mix with virtual reality. You wear these glasses. You can have yourself placed in a virtual world, and now you're transacting and doing sort of business in that virtual world using real-time money, that type of thing. And that's where NFTs comes in, right? You can actually buy a graphic or which would be in the form of an NFT within that game, and that would have a store of value due to, number one, scarcity, right? So scarcity is the theme, literally, when you look at making profits, right? Whether it be real estate, I'm not a financial advisor, I'll say that again, whether it be real estate or what coins to buy or the supply itself of Bitcoin. The reason why these NFTs are taking off and people are making a killing is because they have a very limited supply, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. Like Tory Lanez, he released his album, 1 million copies of the album in the form of an NFT, and all of a sudden, I don't even know where that price is, probably $500 for one. It was $1, right? So scarcity aspect, only 1 million albums. That's it for Tory Lanez, right? These are experiments that are being successfully proven, for NFTs. So Zilliqa partnered with Ninjas in Pajamas. You guys can Google that if you want. But they're going to be partnering for the next 5 years. So this whole crypto environment, NFTs, is not it's not going away anytime soon. So yes, metaverse, VR, those are things that's huge on the horizon, and we shall see a lot more of that. But I wanted to bring you this update, and we'll stay focused on what happens in the future. So don't forget, like, back in 2017, Bitcoin was $5,000, right? Maybe we might see Bitcoin Cash hit $5,000 this year. If we do, who knows what the next 5 years will bring, or even the next 10 years, right? So that's it, folks. Thanks and have a great day.